One thing I'm really struck by is the difference between this field, which is the neighbors, which has been basically, looks to me to be overgrazed. They say they use chemical fertilizer on this for the grazing to keep the grass green. Despite the fact that there are so many sheep on it, you can't really see it behind this oak tree very well, but it's really a striking contrast. The only thing that those bushes that you see out there are, I think, are thistles, because the sheep won't eat them. But what really strikes me is the striking contrast between that and there's the duck house. But turning around here, we see this is what theirs looks like. And there's the beginning of their roundhouse down by the pond here. And it's their pond and all of this. But you can see how there are all of these trees which were not here before. It looked like the sheep field behind us before they started planting. And so there's really a strong contrast, and that's the way most of the countryside is around here.
In 2006.
And they started planting in 2006. There's the duck house, and there's the ducks, and they've arranged it so that the duck house is actually, the ducks' activity is around all of these fruit trees here, so that they forage around the fruit trees and leave their you know, droppings and such around the fruit trees. But that's what really gets me, is the strong contrast between these two areas, with one with all of these trees here and the other kind of bare. It's probably compacted from, you know, overgrazing and too much sheep on it for too long.
Way too long.
Way too long. So why don't you talk about this structure for a second? What are you building here?
We're building a tea down here. But the vision is to have a tea den where people can relax and enjoy what we've created here. So that's going to have a reciprocal roof on it, a recce roof as we call it, which is basically a spiral roof. And we're going to have a hot tub and a steam sauna there. So it's basically a place to draw people down to this area, which has got a lot of diversity and a lot of interest and very relaxing feel to it. And most importantly, it's the place which receives the most sun hours, and where you can catch the sun at the end of the day after a hard day's work. We get woofers, volunteers, who are coming over to help out and learn or share the knowledge that they've got. It's always a mutual thing, giving and receiving, and so it's a special place for people to come and just chill out and relax.
So when you decided you were going to put this pond here, what contributed to your decision to put the pond here?
It was obviously previously a watering hole, I would say, because more than 70-80 years ago the land had belonged to a brewery, and I imagine horses that pulled the brewery carts in the town were returned to the countryside to recuperate for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then ready to go back and do their work and swap over with the horses. So it would have been a watering hole, but I think it was drained off more than likely in the 70s when there was a lot of grants for draining off ponds. There's a shortage of ponds in the area, of wet areas, due to this fact. So there's already, this area is actually fed by a natural water course. There's no stream running into this pond as such. It's just like seepage from the land above us. And it was obviously, unfortunately, there's no running water on this 18 acres, and water holdings are the best things you can do to increase biodiversity. So we thought it was a nice place to dig a big hole and place all the mud, create a dam by placing all the mud in front of it, and it's a very simple basic technique. We didn't have to cart away any of the materials, we just used them right here, created an island and a dam.
And it creates its own microclimate here because the sun reflects on the water, and this whole area is warmer because of that. And we plant more sensitive trees around here, like our apricots and quinces and almonds, because because the way the water catches the sun and holds it here for longer.
So have you got any fish in this pond? Are you doing any aquaculture here?
We haven't got a massive interest in it, but we've got some small carp, small breed, Crucian carp, common bream, perch, roach and gudgeon, which is a bottom feeder. The bottom feeder is to keep it clean. Well, of course, the carp and bream are also bottom feeders, but gudgeon actually tastes pretty nice, as do perch. The perch are the predators, and they stop the pond from getting too full, so that we don't have to go to the trouble of netting it. So all these fish are edible, maybe not the roach, but they're there for a kind of a backup if we're totally skint and we need to eat. Food security, as Merav says.
And also on a very hot day you can swim in it, like Kaya, our son, did yesterday. And you're hot and sweaty at the end of hard work.
Kaya swam in there yesterday, and before you leave we're going to throw you in.
Not forcibly, I hope.